Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial on optimizing trash, today we'll be trying to see how do we analyze and optimize your browser history. So this time, how do you explore and how do you retrieve a lot of information from your browser history? So this time, the browser history is going to be your trash, right? Because after you finish browsing, you mostly don't go back to it, you just put it away. So in any browser that you use, whether it is Chrome or Firefox, Brave or Safari or Edge, two things happen. Like anytime you search for something, information is stored on your local system, right, in this particular location. So if you go based on your system, so this is an example on Windows, if you go to this location on your Windows system, inside case you're using Microsoft Edge, if you go to your users data, you can see all the history of everything that you have browsed, right, in your browser. So anytime you use any of the browsing engine, any of the search engine, any of the browsers, your information is stored locally inside this location based on the system and based on the browser you're using, as well as if you're searching inside the search engine, it is also stored in the system, the search engine, their database, right, whatever, just to improve their service or one way or the other. They may anonymize it and not keep information about where it's coming from, I mean the person specifically, but they still keep some information there, right? So let's not think about this for now. Let's think about how do you see how much information that is going here. So you can do that by checking your browser history by going here, and let's see some of the things we can explore from that. So from the information that we get there, these are some of the things we can do. First, you can do time series analysis because it is time based. So I'm going to show you an example of it. So I have this simple UI here, and then I'll go to Streamlit and run .py, and I'm going to show you a simple application I built that is using my browser history to show you a lot of information you can derive from your browser history. Let me open it from here. I'll go back to my browser and then I'll open it from my browser. If I come back to this application here, you can see from my browser history that this is my browser history, and I'm using Brave for now. You can see all the stuff I have visited, right? So these are all the information I've visited. You can see that this is the URL, this is all the links I visit, and then this is the title. Let me expand it. So this is the URL and this is the title, right? And you can also see that it's time based, so I can check it and see the various times around it. Let's go back to here and then let's see. So we have it here. So we have my URL, all the sites I visited, the title of this link, and then you can see that there's also timestamp. And anytime you have any data with a timestamp, you can do several time-based analysis, which is called time series analysis, right? You can do so many stuff. You can know how often somebody visits a particular site, what they visit, where they visit most often, and with that understanding of their time-based activities in which you do time series analysis, you can also build on it to identify the habits of the person and then move on from time series analysis to do behavioral analysis, right? To know his behavior, his pattern, what he mostly do, what is his thinking pattern. And if I go back to this application, which we'll be building later, if I go down here, you can see that this is my visits, right? Visits per hour. So over the period of all the times I've used Brave in my system, this is my workflow. You can see that this is how it goes, right? So on Fridays, you can see how much I spent in every day. So Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, all the days. And you can see the different hours I visit. So the visit per hour and the day, right? So this is a lot of information that is given out by your browser, right? This is not just the one that is going outside of your browser, but this is what is stored in your browser. And out of that, you can see how much information I can derive from. You can understand more about the person. So you can build a whole time series analysis on it. You can also build behavioral pattern on it. If I go down to the application, you can see my pattern, the visitor per day. So over the month, this is how I visit. And then you can see my trend. Some of these are higher. And you can also see my visit per day in a different approach, right? Very simple, very insightful. So there are so many things you can do with just the data that you get from your browser. Okay, apart from that, the other analysis you can also do from your browser history is thought patterns from search, right? So anytime you search, somebody goes to a browser, right, and then you search something, whatever you're searching, it's just like a system, as we learned earlier on. So a system is always like this. There is input. Every system is like this, and then it goes into a system, a process. So let's make it like input, and then we have another output, right? That's what we always think. Most of the time systems are like this. So there's an input, there is an output, right? And within this input there is also some other stuff here, right? So we have some process that goes, and then this is bound by period or time, right? And then anytime it is bound by period or time, we can also have the last environment, which is called environment. So these are the components of a system, right? So every system is input. You put something into the system over some period of time in a specific environment, and then you get an output. This is how you should think. The same way, if I go to a search engine and I paste in something, right? I'm pasting something into this system, and from what I'm pasting here, we are going to get a result, right? And then you keep on searching and searching. So with this information, I can actually know what you are thinking, because whatever you are searching for, if you have a question, that means you are thinking about it. So questions, that means you are thinking about it. If you have, let's say, to check some info or facts, you want to check some facts or some doubts, right? So any of these things, anytime you put inside the search engine, you are putting your thoughts, right? Whatever you are thinking about, whatever you need. So an information, facts, or let's say also a need, into this search engine. And with this same information, if it comes and you like it and you keep on following through, we can know what you are thinking. So search engines are not just there for that. Through search engine, if you gather the information that is coming through a search engine, or even through what is stored in a browser history, you can understand the person's thinking, right? You can understand the thought pattern, what you think. Because anytime I go and search something on Google or any other platform, I have a question, or I want to check an information, or I want to check a fact, or I have some doubt about something, or I need something. So I'm thinking about it first before I put it inside a search engine or prompt engine, and then I get a result. So by gathering all the information from here, if I store this information that's coming, I can predict my inputs, right? What I'm actually thinking. If I get all of the search history and I analyze it, I can actually predict your thought pattern, right? Your behavior and your thought pattern. So that is something very powerful and something very scary about it. So you can actually know what a country is thinking by just going with this. If I go to Google Trends, this is Google Trends, right? And with Google Trends, I can check per country for the past 24 hours what the country is thinking about. So this is not just search. It is what people are thinking first before they put inside the search, right? You just don't search stuff. If you have a question, if you are thinking about something, if you have a fact or info, if you need something, that is what you put there. So if you can check from Google Trends, you can see that over the period of just 24 hours, this is what is trending. And what is trending is what people are thinking, and that's what they have put inside the search engine. So with this, you can understand the whole population and what is their thought pattern, what they are thinking about, how they think. So most people are thinking about this, and it's a weekend. You can see that there's a lot of sports activity. So Kansas versus BU, Lakers versus Pelican. You can notice that this is what most people are thinking about. Around this time, you can search from here. Let's switch from here to, let's say, the last 7 days. You can see what they were thinking. So there is Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, and most people were searching for this, and that's what most people were thinking about. So this is a very powerful, insightful stuff you can get from search, right? So what you put inside the search engine is not just something that you need or a question, it's also your thought pattern, and with that you can deduce and then understand on a global scale what people are thinking about. So if I go back again to the Google Trends here, and I switch from US to, let's say, a different country, and my location is Germany, you can notice, you can see that this is what they are thinking about. So Deutschland, Bosnia, and then this Connie remains like Adams. So these are all the stuff they are thinking. If I switch to a different country, let's say India, all regions, you can see what they are thinking about. So there are people still thinking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and this is very insightful as well as scary, right? So through your browsing history and your search history, there's so much treasure you can get from it. There's so much insight you can get from it. And what are some of the other things you can also get from it? You understood that you can do time series analysis to understand how often, when, what, and where. And with these things, you can understand the habits of people, and you can build behavioral analysis and behavioral profiles about people. You can also understand the thought patterns from people's search, right? This thing here can also be applied to prompt engine. So all the prompt engines that we have, like all the prompt engines that we have, can also apply the same logic to it. So anytime you are putting something into an LLM, right? If you are putting something into an LLM, so this can be GPT, LLM, it can be GPT or ChatGPT, whatever. Right? All those things you are putting here, most of these services, if I go back, most of whatever, like the user, right? Most of these services, right? Prompts, which every prompt engine, Perplexity, LLM, all of them, they keep track of whatever information you are typing there, right? And then the LLM will give you an answer. So it's going to be something like, say, a response or something, right? The LLM gives you the response. The LLM gives you a response, and then you keep on repeating, and it goes back again, right? So it gives you a response, and then you ask another question again, right? So it's like a cycle. You do the same thing. It gives you a response, you get it back again, you understand it, you put it back, and this is a cycle. And then if this information is stored in a database somewhere, right, you can also build a form of thought profile, right? How people think, how people behave, because anything you're putting inside a search engine or a prompt engine is what you are thinking about, is an information or a fact you want to know about, is something you need, or your doubt. So with these things is what you are putting inside a search engine or a prompt engine. And if you keep and restore this information, we can understand the behavior of people, and then what is trending and what people are thinking about, which is very insightful. And then we can use it to do ad marketing or targeted ads, and then you can understand the population and what they are thinking about. Okay, so let's see the other stuff you can also get from your browser history. What are some of the things you can get from your browser history, from your search history? You can also get your digital fingerprint or digital footprint, right? So anyhow you call it, digital footprint or fingerprint. So the digital footprint is what you leave when you leave a website. So it is stored by your cookies. Your browser history also stores a lot of things, and with a better system with different algorithms and different analysis, you can build a digital footprint of someone, right? You can also build a profile of person, so that with the profile of the person you can know the behavior, because once you know what the person is searching for, how often the person search, the habits and the thoughts, perspectives, perceptions, ideas of the person, the needs of the person, you can build a profile around the person. You know, okay, this is this person X, person Y, and this person, this is how he behaves, and this is what he needs, and we can sell him ads. They can sell ads to them. They can market specific targeted markets or targeted product to the person, and you can also build a lot from this information. And it can also be used in forensics. So if you have a forensic case, they can just check your system and then know whatever you're doing, and then build a time series analysis, a behavior analysis, thought pattern analysis, and then build a profile about a person. One scary thing about a fingerprint, some people will think that, okay, yeah, I don't know, I don't care, privacy is blah blah blah. But with the profile, right, if you want to build a digital fingerprint or footprint about someone or your profile, it's very easy to do that. Let's take a scenario like this, right? So let's say you are the worker here. You go to work. So this is work. You log into work PC. You work. You do some stuff right here, right? And then from work, you carry your phone on the home to, let's say, street or home, wherever you go, or outside, right? So let's say outside. You carry your phone, right? Your phone is with you, and then you go home. And when you come home, you switch off your laptop, right? So even though you may not have logged in with your username, right, but because you are carrying the same device and the same device have similar, you are carrying the same device, and this device has an IP, this has an IP, this has an IP, and you don't have an IP, of course, right? But because you are carrying these devices, and then you are moving from one place to another place, and then you always search similar stuff, right? We can actually build a profile about a person, because we know that, okay, this person searched some stuff here, and then he went from work, he was still having issues, he couldn't finish his work, he went home whilst he was in a train or in a tram or in a car, he was searching for the same stuff here, right? And then he moved to the house and he searched for the same stuff. You can actually know who this person is by just following, even though this can be anonymized. You can just follow that, okay, every time, Monday, from this time to this time, the person works from here, then he moves throughout, then he comes back here. And with this, you can build a profile of the person. You can build a fingerprint of the person, even though you may not even know the person, right? Because you know that, okay, this is the same information here, here, and here. And one thing is that apart from this stuff here, if you use Google or any platform, Google, Bing, and you have logged in, right, they keep track of everything that you do, right? So let me show you an example. If I go to, if you have Google already, you can just go to MyActivity.google, and you can see all your activities, right? Everything I've searched for. So you can see all the things I was searching for, everything I've searched for, right? All of them, you can see all of them. This is all my history. And some of them you can see from here. There is, once you switch web activity, your YouTube history, you can switch it off. Of course, you have the right to switch it off. But if you don't switch it off, you can see all of them. And you can also filter by product. So there are different products. You can filter by date. So all time, filter by date. You can filter by whatever tool. So developer books, flights, Google Analytics, Google Lens, Google News, all the stuff you have done. You can filter by to get information about all the activities you have searched for. Right? This is a lot of information that is coming from you. Once you have an account and you have logged in, right? You can see that I searched for all of these things. These were some of them were recommended for me. You can see from YouTube, have all my searches there. So I'm being tracked. Same thing with my browser history. And then you can see this is for my phone. Funny. All the things I searched, right? These things are, some of them are for my phone. All of this, right? All of this information, even the maps, the places I visited, see. All this information, you can know why I'm saying from all of this, right? So this is very scary, right? So there is so much information we give out. There's so much information we can harness from your browser history. All of them is structured. It is stored either in Google systems or on your browser history, on your local system. You can see so many information, right? You can see how you can harness all of these things to build a profile around the person and then sell us to the person or sell that data to another company, right? Or sell it to a whole system or a company or an organization to do more analysis on the whole population. One thing is that Google is not only just Google, but any platform that gives you a lot of information. It's not just a company, but it's also a tracking company, right? So they are tracking. So Google is not just Google, Bing, all of them are not just tech companies, right? They are not just search engine. They are also tracking companies. Because all of this information I show you here, this is everything I've been doing, right? You can even know the weather. I search for weather tomorrow, right? Together with the time I search for it. You can see the details. All of this information. So it's not just a tech company, a search engine company, it's also a tracking company. So they track whatever you are doing, even though you may not be logged in. If you are logged in, of course, obviously you are being tracked, as I showed you. Even if you are not logged in, based on your routine of activity as well as what you search for, you can still build a profile around you, which is interesting and very scary. Okay, so that is something I'm going to share with you about how much insight we can get from your browser history, either from the search history or from your browser history, what is stored what is left behind, what is the waste that you don't care about on your browser, right? All of the browsers. You can do time series analysis, behavior analysis, thought pattern analysis. You can build a profile from all of these searches. You can also do some advanced forensic analysis on it, and there are so many stuff you can do from that. So one more thing to share with you before I go is that you can also understand that with all that we are searching all over the world, you can understand on a global scale what the whole population is searching for, right? So if I go to, let's say, Ghana, what is Ghana thinking today for the last 7 days? So Ghana is thinking England versus Ireland, Mike Tyson. Ghana versus Angola, I think maybe it's a football. I have no idea. So this is what the majority of the people were thinking about. There's the Nations League, which is a very, very powerful tool that we have at our disposal. And you can exploit them and do your analysis on these things. And you can also use it for your marketing and for your business. Okay, so thank you for watching the tutorial, and then see you another time in which we explore more on how to build a system like this. As you can see, there are so many things you can do. It's another system I built using my browser history to see what I've been learning from my browser history, right? And then you can also see one stuff here, the number of hours I visited, and all of this information, which is quite interesting. Together with the behavioral analysis I talked about, you can see that this is the amount of time I spent, and these are the parts of the day, what I spent, and you can see the category, right? So streaming and uncategorized and shopping. And you can see for my browser history this category. So there's also streaming, there's learning, uncategorized, right? So there's a lot. The streaming here, the reason there's a lot of streaming is because I use YouTube to learn also, so that's why it's classified as there. Okay, so thank you for watching the tutorial. In case you have any questions or contribution, let me know, and then see you another time. Stay blessed. Bye.